Hello and welcome to episode 136 of A Crazy Little Thing Called Love Dev. Today's episode is the world's strongest Hungarian.
It's a crazy little thing, this thing called love, Dev. It's a crazy little thing, this thing called love, Dev. He's got the punchlines and he's got the groove. It's a crazy little thing, this thing called love, Dev.
Hello, folks. It's me again, your favourite person in the whole world, apart from all the other podcasts that you listen to. But you keep returning back to this one. Why? Why? I tell you what keeps returning back to me. I think my cold keeps coming back. I don't know what's wrong with me, man. The last episode, I think I told you, I got a cold coming on. And then it went, and now it's come back again. What's all that about? Is that what the cold does? Do you get it once, and then it's like, nah, mate, you're not getting away with this. I'm still lurking around in the background. Like a nosy neighbour, I'm still there watching you, mate. It's crazy. I don't know. Anyway, I've got my lemon sip, and I thought, it's time to record a podcast. You know what I mean? This is coming out in a couple of days. I need to think of something to say. There you go. I told you I've got another cold. You can probably hear it. I'm getting to that age now when I'm fed up. I'm like, why do I keep getting problems, man? I'm losing everything, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm losing my hair. My teeth are falling apart. Now I've got a cold. And I'm like, why? Every day, wake up, right, do my usual routine. And this morning I was like rubbing my face, washing my face. And I could feel my eye and I was like, oh, come on, don't do that to me. I don't need that on top of a cold. I get like a cyst on my eye sometimes and it just comes from nowhere. But if I get it in time, then it doesn't blow up in a way. When I was younger, I never had these problems, man. I was a fit, healthy boy. Now, I'm just an old man. There was a fit, healthy boy down my house the other night. The way I worded that didn't sound right then, did it? I had a sofa. I was getting rid of it. I didn't want it. It's too big. As you guys know, I've rejigged my whole house now. We've done the old feng shui. Rearrange it. It's gone. It's basically switched rooms. That's what's happened. All the furniture from one room has gone into the other room and then the opposite, if you know what I mean. Feng shui, mate. We done feng shui. Didn't think of it at the time. Thinking about it now, it is feng shui. Is it called feng shui or feng shui? I don't know. Same thing. You know what I'm on about, the yin and the yang. So as I was saying, I had a young fit man down my house the other day. Had a sofa. Put it on Facebook. Facebook's annoying, isn't it? Facebook Marketplace is one of the worst things to put anything on. You just get loads of scammers. Can I come down? Can I pay by bank transfer? Who do you think I am? Oh, you're going to come down and travel all the way from Pakistan. I was selling a TV. I put it on Facebook. This guy messages me. Have you still got it? Of course I have. Are you going to take the next plane from Pakistani Airways to come and pick up the TV? Who do you think I am? Do you think I'm stupid? These are what these scammers do, right? And then what they do, they pay by bank transfer, right? They'll pay it, right? Then somebody will come round, pick it up, and then what they do is they say, we didn't receive the goods, and then they get the money back, and you got robbed. That's the new age of robbing. So don't fall for that trick, folks. They all do it, man. And they're all abroad as well. India, Pakistan. Don't get any other country doing it. They're the worst ones. Anyway, let's get back to the story before I have a fit. So this geezer come round it, and he was a young lad, right? He looked about 22, 3. He said, I've come to pick up your sofa. I was like, I hope you got an extra hand, because this is frigging heavy, mate. So he come in with his dad, and he told me he's from Hungary, right? the country, Hungary, innit? Not, he wasn't hungry, like starving, he was from Hungary. So I said, yeah, come in then, mate. And then, so he come in, and we couldn't get it through the door because it's massive, man. It's 7 foot long, this sofa is. A leather one. I bought it 15 years ago. And it's still in great nick. It's actually built really well. So we couldn't get it through the front door. We thought, oh my God, what are we going to do? I could see his dad was getting annoyed. So I said, I'll tell you what, let's take it through the back. We took it through the back of the house. Had to lift this frigging heavy thing up. This young lad got on my flat roof, top of the extension, obviously, Asian. And then he picked it up, dragged it across the bloody the roof, right? Then I said to him, reverse your van back into my drive. So he reversed the van back, and my drive is a little bit on of a slope. So he drove it back. I said, I'll tell you what, put it on top of the van. Luckily, he had like a ladder or something on top of it. So he put it on top of the van. I don't know how he done it. And then we had to take it off the frigging van roof and put it back in the van, in the back of the van, if you know what I'm on about. So we done that. Young boy, man, strong lad. I said, what are you going to do with this sofa? He said, I'm going to paint it and then I'm going to sell it again. Ha ha ha. I said, you know what, mate? Fair play to you. I said, I hope you make a couple £100 for this, because that sofa was worth about 500. I got it cheap, innit? Got it off the back of a lorry. And it went back on the back of a lorry. Crazy. So he was young, man, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting old. His dad was suffering, mate. His dad was frigging sweating, right? I reckon his dad was about 10 years older than me, and he was annoyed. And I said, here, have some water, Dad. And he was like, no, I don't want the water. Don't give me no water. I said, have it, man. There's nothing wrong with it. It's frigging, I haven't even opened it, man. Just take it. No, I know the water. I thought, all right, then, fair enough, Granddad. You don't want it. I thought, let's do another. Well, not another. I've got a new thing that I want to try out. It's kind of like a new segment to the podcast that I just saw it and I thought, yeah, I'm into this kind of stuff. I wonder if my listeners are. There's only one way you're going to find out, isn't it? What the hell I'm talking about? I'll tell you right now. So here is the new segment to the show. Conspiracy theories. Is it real or is it fake?
Conspiracy theories, what's real, what's fake? Conspiracy theories, what's real, what's fake? Conspiracy theories, what's real, what's fake?
Let's find out, shall we? Let's see what today's conspiracy theory is. I hope you guys are into this, because it would be absolutely useless if I did this and you're thinking, but we're not into conspiracy theories, Love Dev. Well, I kind of am. It's always interesting to read what some people think could be the truth or could be fake. Anyway, I've chose this one because it's a bit, I don't know, we'll find out. It's a conspiracy theory. Let's have a look. It's been posted by Ismibra, or It's Me Bra. I don't really know, but that's the name of the person. They've put up a question for everybody on this forum. It says, my dad gave me a pretty wild conspiracy theory, and I have to know where he got it from. Ooh, so even I don't know what it is. So here she says, or they say, or he says, okay, so my dad thinks the center of the earth is a big ball of fire. Interesting. And somehow it contributes to the heat of the magma and everything in earth. He says the ball of fire has to be fueled by something, and he think it's oil. Not a bad thought, mate. Not a bad thought, could be. He does not believe oil is created over millions of years from plants, fossil fuel in brackets. He says we are running out of oil, and somehow we keep getting more. So there's some huge conspiracy on where we're getting our oil from. And media and politicians do not want us to know, so that they have lied to us about where oil really comes from. In a way, could be right, isn't it? Where does oil come from? Isn't it from like dinosaurs and all that and all the other creatures, and they've been crushed in the rock and then they kind of like dissolved into a liquid? I'm sure that's where oil comes from, doesn't it? I don't know. He really thinks the earth is being fueled by these fossil fuels and that there's some sort of huge amount of oil doing so. It was really hard to make out what he was saying or explaining. I've heard somebody say to me, right, that, you know, oil is the blood of the earth. And I was like, in a way, you're kind of right, innit? Because we're using it. I mean, we're taking it out, and then what happens if you take blood out of a person? They're going to eventually die, innit? So we are literally killing the planet. But then is oil good for Earth itself? Or is it just something that's there and it doesn't really need it, so we're going to use it and make loads of money? Possibly. So I'm going to crack on with the question. I'm just confusing myself now. When I asked him where he got it from, he just claimed that he's much older than me and knows things I can't even comprehend. He doesn't get his information from media and politicians like how he thinks. I got my information from them. Is there any sort of group of people that believe this, or does anyone know where he's actually getting this idea from? Maybe your dad's got a point in a way. Maybe he's kind of working it out himself, like, because they do say to us, "Oh, we're gonna run out of oil in, I don't know, when is it? What's the official date? I don't know when the official date is, but we're going to eventually run out of oil, apparently." But if you think about it, governments are making so much money out of oil. And it's something that we need to survive on the planet, unfortunately, obviously. Vehicles, generators in certain parts. We need oil. And we'd be lost without it, in a way. Who knows? I don't know. He's got a point, though. He has got a point. Maybe they're lying. I don't believe half of the stuff the government tells us, and that's the truth. I'm not one of them sheep that follows, do you know what I mean? Follows orders. I like to be the shepherd. Wait, listen to me, philosopher. I wonder if there is a group of people that think this is true. So they put down something else. I think they've added it to the question. Earth's core is a ball of fire fueled by fossil fuels that have been lied to us about for years and years. And somehow we keep getting more oil despite being told we are almost out. In a way, that's true. What do you think half of the wars are about? Like, I don't want to get too political. This is a crazy little thing called Love Dev. But half of the wars is about oil, innit? Let's be honest. Oil, resources, gold, diamonds. We're like, what do you think they made the movie? What's that movie? What's it called? Avatar. Avatar is based on Earth, basically. I don't know if anyone knew this, but the person that directed the film that made a point to it, basically what he said was that in the movie, the avatars are blue and they represent the Hindu god. Forgot his name now. Krishna. So they're all blue and they're very spiritual. And they live on a planet. And that planet is actually supposed to be United States of America. Yeah. So when the Europeans went there, they obviously took the resources from the Native Americans That's why you see them all with the bows and the arrows. And I watched a documentary on it, and he actually talked about it himself. And I thought, do you know what, mate? That is a genius. That's genius. I love that. There's actually a story behind what you're trying to tell us in the film. It's not just a film. It's about the Native Americans and everywhere else in the world. And we're all just robbing off each other. So who knows? Look at me turning into philosopher. It's a good question, though. I'm not going to read further down because, as I said, it's a conspiracy. Is it fake or is it true? I don't know. I can't answer that one. I mean, scientists out there will go, yeah, no, it's fossils. It's, it comes from that. And that's how we get our oil. They're probably right. But there probably are other sources of way we can get oil. Who knows? Only the truth knows. Okay, it's time to move on with the podcast. I'm going to do a no stupid questions. That's what I'm going to do. A no stupid question. Today's no stupid question has been put up by Livsky1. And they said, just a random thought, how did taxis work back in the day? How did taxis work back in the day, mate? They worked the same as they do now. Just that. There wasn't Uber back then. We had to wait for a phone call to come in from a passenger to book a taxi, and then the operator would go, car 3, come in, car 3. And I'll go, hello, speaking. And they'll go, can you go and do a pickup, please, from the Black Horse Pub in Walsall Road? Can you go and pick them up, please? Yeah, cheers. What's the name? The name is Dave. Yep, it's always a Dave. Cheers, mate. Thank you. That's how taxis used to work back in the day. I'm talking about in the UK. I don't know where you are. It could be anywhere where you are in the world, but that's how it worked back then. Or if you was a black cab driver, people just flag you down. They still do that now. So black cab drivers have that right. Whereas you can't do that with a normal taxi. I don't know why I've picked this question. I really don't know. But there is more to it. He says, I'm talking like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Did the taxi drivers just know the roads that well? Yeah, well, black cab drivers do, because you've got to know the knowledge test. You've got to know where every single street is in Birmingham. Well, not everyone, but the main ones, do you know what I mean? You got to know where all the pubs and the clubs are. So he says, like, how did they know how to get you to your destination? Oh, before sat-navs. Normally, before sat-navs, I think we just used to say, can you show me the direction of where you want to go? Ha 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 ha. That's what we used to do. Especially if you're going 30 minutes an hour out of the city or across the same state. Yeah, he's American. I'm talking about from the UK perspective. I mean, we're not as big as the US, so you just look at the road signs. Most of them direct you to where you got to go. Pretty straightforward. We do rely on GPS and maps. You're right about that. I mean, I couldn't live without my GPS system now. I'm so used to it. Back in the days, I used to plan my journey. So I used to get a AA map out, and I used to it's a road map, in case you're wondering, in the US. So I used to get it out, and then I used to plan my journey, from A to B. And I used to write little circles and turn left here and turn right there. And I used to draw traffic lights so I'd know where I am. Ha ha ha! And big stores like Asda's there. So I know I'm going the right way. Man, I couldn't do that now. No way. I wouldn't even have the time to do it. So yeah, back in the days, it was just all knowledge, I think. We just knew where to go. And I'm talking about myself yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I chose that no stupid question. It really was a no stupid question. Hey, you know what, folks? I think I'm going to wrap up the podcast with... What do I wrap it up with? You guys always know. I wrap it up with a Weird news story. All right, let's see what today's weird news story is. And I had to play that again for some unknown reason. My sausage fingers just got out of hand. Anyway, today's weird news story comes all the way from Japan. Arigato. Konnichiwa. Japanese man who's 40 years old, happy birthday, buddy, discovers his fiancée is 25 years older on his wedding evening. What does that make her then? If he's 40, 56, 65 years old. Happy birthday to you. I don't think I could marry a 40. I mean, I'm 40-ish. I'm older than 40. I don't think I could marry an 80-year-old. How did that even happen? And how do you find out her age on your wedding evening? Do they read it out? Do you take Yoshitaka to be your lawful wedded wife who is actually 65 years old? I'd love to know. Let's read the story. A man in Japan. That sounds like a rhyme, innit? A man in Japan who for 7 years was blissfully unaware of the 25-year age gap between him and his girlfriend. So you're telling me you've been together for 7 years and you wasn't aware that she's 25 years older than you? I'll be honest though, looking at her picture, she does not look 65. She actually looks younger than him. I need to move to Japan. I reckon I'd have a healthier and happier life. So anyway, he says here, he only discovered her true age before their wedding. So the couple, it's Yoshitaka, who's 40. Happy birthday, as I said, Yoshitaka. And his 60-year-old wife, Aki, who has 18,000 followers on YouTube. The one day he's married her because she's got a massive following on YouTube. She's probably making money. They met a Japanese-style bar, which was run by Aki. See, told ya, she's got money in it. She's got a Japanese bar, man. He ain't bothered about her age. According to the Bunshun Online, which is a Japanese media outlet, at that point, Yoshitaka was divorced and deeply attracted by her mature charm. And he fell in love with Aki at first sight. Ah, get the violin out. Yoshitaka told Bunshun, after talking with her, I found that we both had experienced failed marriages. We're raising children alone, and we've also shared many common interests. The pair soon fell in love and became a couple, but Aki was always anxious about the relationship, so she didn't want to tell him. Maybe she lied. Some women will do that, innit? Women don't like to say their age. We know that, blokes. Aki said it was because at that time she had always claimed to be 44. See? Knew it. Nailed it. She lied to him about her age, and he fell for it. But she does look that age. She doesn't look her age, I'll be honest. She feared that if he knew her true age, she would lose him. Ah, but he loves you anyway, so age is just a number in it to him. Thanks to her cheerful disposition and good skincare routine, I want to know what your routine is. She maintained a beautiful appearance. Yoshitaka believed there was only a 15-year age gap. But in fact, the love of his life was 25 years older. Aki has tried many times to create opportunities for her boyfriend to discover her true age. I left my passport and insurance card on the table, hoping he would notice. So she wanted to do it discreetly. That's funny, isn't it? And he didn't even think to look at a passport. That's hilarious. But Yoshitaka just always gently reminded her to put her documents away safely, ignoring the hints. Maybe he knew anyway, and he thought, nah, man, this woman's got a bar, mate. She's got money. I ain't going nowhere. After 7 years together, they decided to get married, and then Aki revealed her true age to her boyfriend before the wedding. Imagine if he went, "You're 65. Nah, mate, I ain't marrying you. I'm gone." Could you imagine that on the actual wedding day? Although initially surprised, Yoshitaka said, "I don't mind your real age at all. It doesn't matter," he said. "Ah, what a lovely bloke. What matters is why you didn't tell me earlier, so you wouldn't have to worry for so long." Yeah, that's true. After marrying, they quit their jobs and travelled all around Japan, according to Bunshun. Now they run an online AC cleaning service store and share daily stories on YouTube. Interesting. Aki believes that Japanese society remains prejudiced against couples where the woman is significantly older. That does happen in the Asian culture. I think that happens in our culture as well. So I can understand that. Older men can proudly show off how young and beautiful their wives are. But many women who are older than their husbands often hesitate to reveal their relationship. My wife is older than me. Not by much. She's only she's 3 months older than me. Ha 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 ha. She's still older though, isn't it? She came onto the planet before I did. So, yeah, I'm a toy boy. She concluded that true love is the most important thing, saying we should accept various forms of couples. Oh, that was a lovely story. I like that one. It's always nice to end on a good weird news story, isn't it? There we go, folks. That was today's podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always enjoy it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, and on that news, it's time to end the podcast. Thank you.